I'm gonna try an experiment. I'm gonna try to put you up here out of my hands. Won't be perfect, but good enough. Yes, look at what I'm wearing. Maybe I should show you that first. That wasn't what I was gonna do, but I just saw it in the screen. Look there. King Cola. I think, yes, King Cola. Also, Mother Nature. What's up with the man? He's a tree man, he's a bush. He's the green thing. It's Father Wisdom. I don't know. I'm being a little silly, but it's the truth. You do gain wisdom. I've gained insight and wisdom through smoking. Believe it or not. And here I am with glasses on. It was a spur of the moment deal. When I have to read, I need my glasses, see? So I'll take them off. All right, so it was about the green thing that I'm going to talk about, or a video, because I'm going to show you my green cream that I made, okay? Now, I'm going to put this all over my face, and I thought I'd let you see. I must trust it pretty good, don't you think, if I would do that? And you can tell I've been using it, okay? I've been dipped in. It's been dipped into quite a bit. Gonna have to make me some more. But I'm just gonna cover my face with this stuff. And I did read on it, because I couldn't read on it the other day. I didn't have my glasses on. And it didn't say it in bold print, face and body, but it does say it on the other print. Face, body, and hands, which I imagine is everything, really. But I know that there's some creams that you should not use on your face because you're clogging pores. So I'm going to put it on like as a thick mask, kind of, sort of. And then before I'm done, of course, it'll seep in. The cream will seep in everywhere. So I'm going to get good coverage with my medicine, okay? So it seeps in all over the place and gets into my bloodstream everywhere. The more the merrier. That's the way I see it. And yeah, I got a fan blowing over there. Because even with it being cold, for some reason, I like the fan. Especially when I get under the covers. You know, I just like to have a fan going. Okay, now I'm going to go over my eyes. Shut your eyes. Go over them lightly. You know the skin around your eyes. Now this is if it's true. I haven't looked it up and verified, but when I sold Avon and when I sold Jafra, whatever, I sold a lot of things. I'm not sure where I learned it. Anyway, like only 3 layers of skin around your eyes. Now, the reason I tell you that is for 2 things, okay? Like, I'll get off on 2 different subjects here. The girl that used my cream under her eyes on age spots, her sciatica went away. Now, I just have been experiencing sciatica, and the doctor told me that if I got all the stress points off or whatever, he didn't say exact, but that it would go away in about 2 weeks. You know, like the stress I put on myself from recuperating from the surgery in the hospital bed and putting pressure on things. You know, if you're not up moving around, then you're sitting down. And then laying in weird positions. So I'm hoping and praying this thing goes away, because oh my God. See, I got off the subject and I don't know what the other thing was. Oh, yes I do. So I was talking about her and the fact that she was putting it right up around her eye area, okay? So there's 3 layers of skin there. I don't know if that's how you'd say it, but anyway, 3 layers versus here has a lot more layers, okay? And the point of that being that it doesn't have as many layers to go through to get to your internal works. You know, like the medicine that's in my salve, I call it an ointment. It's whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's a salve. It's solid up to 74 degrees, and then it's running after that. It'll downright be liquid, you know, much after that. And I took a video when I put it in my jar and stuff, and it was pretty black. Pretty dark. But it was not black when it was solid. But the stuff that I increased my medicine, that's pretty dark. Anyway, I'm just rubbing it in. I probably don't need to. Maybe I should just let it seep in, you know? Like a beauty treatment. Just put it on and let it seep on in. It'll take a little while. Keep my hair out of it. Anyway. Just looking for something to share. And this sounds pretty good to me. Okay, so I started putting it on my, since I don't have to hold the camera and show you. So, back of my hand. That's where I put my ointment too. Okay, but since I've started using the cream, I decided I like the cream better. Because it doesn't leave a slicker for so long. You know what I mean? If you put oil on or ointment on, it's kind of oily. And then it sticks to everything. Or you rub it off onto things. I don't want to rub it off. I want it in me. And actually you have to realize that the coconut oil and this cream is just a vehicle. It's the vehicle to get my medicine on me and in me, okay? And so this cream is actually a pretty good deal because it doesn't stick around. It goes in. You know, it's got help getting in. So you put it on both the back of your hand. Well, see, I'm wanting to put a lot on, okay, because of my situation, because I do have cancer. In my right breast, I'm hoping that it is nowhere else. You know, it's hard to say. But I believe that Rick Simpson oil kills cancer. And I have developed a way to get it inside my body without smoking it. I can put it on my blood. I put it where my blood veins are. I want to go right for the gusto. And then also, you know, I went to a gathering a while back. I need to document that. I wished I'd had it videotaped. It was really good. I mean, there weren't very many people there, but it was great. And if it would have been on video, then it wouldn't have mattered, really, how many people were there. But hopefully, I know one at least, but hopefully the others too were influenced by it. Anyway, Di told a story there. she'd been using it on her feet. That's a good place to put it too. But she had athlete's foot, okay? Athlete's feet, whatever you want to call it. But she used my salve. She just would take a little, because when it's solid, you don't have to use very much, okay? A little dab will do you. Anyway, she took enough off and she rubbed her feet with it. And she had been using it for a year. But her athlete's foot was gone and her feet were nice and soft and, you know, pink like they should be. Instead of all cracked and stuff. I don't know what athlete's foot looks like. But she's a runner. So I imagine that was kind of painful and horrible. Of course, like I said, that's an imagination because I don't know. But anyway, oh, you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm rubbing it all over my arms. I put it on the back of my hand in a goodly amount. And what this stuff is a face and body cream. It's not a lotion, okay? So it's a thick cream. Like a beauty cream, okay? A more luxurious version. But you can just rub it all over your body as a moisturizer, okay? It does promote blood flow. When I use my salve, my ointment, and put it on my face, I do get a rosy glow. And I'm not sure if this will give me a rosy glow or not, but I would think it would. But it's just like putting on a real thick moisturizer. Because that's what this cream is. It's a thick cream. It doesn't just disappear when you put it on. So anyway, I'm hoping that I'm getting a healthy dose of my medicine running through my skin. And to hopefully, I mean, you know, there's probably not a lot of blood veins here. But it's still getting to the inside of your body. So it's gotta have an effect. Maybe a residual effect. I don't know. So I've sat here and put body cream on. And what I should do is put it on my legs too, but I won't be doing that right now. And I did earlier. My pain wasn't as bad today. And I don't know if I had an episode today or if it was yesterday. Anyway, I put it on the pain. I haven't been doing that. I've just been putting it on my veins because I found out it's better to just have it running through your whole system. Not according to everybody, okay. My sister has used it and she gets relief right on point. Like she has a problem with her shoulder, she puts it up there and the pain goes away. And I do know it helps with mobility. I mean, it helps you to be able to move a little better. It helps with the blood flow. It really does. I know from other examples, my own testimony, which I won't go into, but I do know as a matter of fact, I have felt my blood rushing through my body because I have OD'd on it. My ointment when I was making it, okay, I had a cake decorating spatula and I would scrape around the sides, or every time you pulled up out of it, the stuff that stayed on the spatula, it would solidify almost immediately when you pulled it out of the pot. So I would have stuff left on, so I was just rubbing it up and down my arm. And I really did. I mean, under normal circumstances, I don't think you feel that rushing. But I did feel a warm sensation the other day. So yeah, I think you can feel your blood moving. And I think that's a good thing, really. At least I know it's moving. Not sitting in one spot. My schedule's off whack. I went to bed real early this last night, too. I went to bed shortly after 9. And to me, that's early. And then what did I do? I was up at 1. I'm not even sure if it was 1 o'clock. 9 to 1 would be about right. 4 hours. I get about 4 hours sleep. if I'm lucky. Might be just a curse that I have, you know. Sleeping disorder, who knows. So, my skin is nice and soft. And it's got my medicine. Because they say everything that goes on your skin goes into your bloodstream. And if it does, then it's got my medicine, right? Right. There's a video on both channels. I have a second channel now, but there's only 3 videos on it right now. And this is one that should go over to that one. So I'll probably put it on both just until I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing exactly. But I don't know how to transfer videos from one to another, and I have to delete my videos pretty soon after I make them on my camera roll so that I've got room to make another one. So all my videos are on YouTube. I should have like a hard drive or something and download it. And I don't know anything about that. I just know that it's a possibility, right? Things you learn when you need to learn them. So, it's still fairly early if a person went to bed and stayed asleep. What time is it? I'm not sure what time it is. It's probably 7. I would guess 7. Because last I knew it was 6. Anyway, so I need to go on the hunt for some nice cream that doesn't cost so much money. Excuse me. And I know when you look at the price really for what you're getting, this vehicle, this jar of cream, I'm not sure what it costs. But I know when I went looking for cream for Dad, the kind that he uses, it was like $15. And I was used to it being a lot less. So I'll have to figure out what this costs. Nevertheless, so here's my jar of cream. But any jar of cream, nice cream, and I say nice cream, because why put your medicine in something that's not nice? But I need to figure out my hair too. One of these days, I will be back in a situation where I'm normal. I don't live under normal circumstances, okay? Like when you live in your own space and you do what you want when you want. And just everything in general, your freedom to be who you are, your freedom to walk through the house naked if you want to. Not that that's something I want to do. But you know what I mean, privacy too. Privacy and just freedom to be who you are. That's something people take for granted too. I mean, that's a beautiful blessing if you have it. I have had it. And I've lived in nice circumstances, and this is a nice circumstance, okay? My dad has a nice home. It has been very nice to have the amenities of life. Because when you're living like you're a camper, it's not that cool. Camping's okay. It has its place, but not for every day. I gave a lot up. First in Perryton, Texas, I gave a lot up to move to Downs. But I had a nice home in the beginning. I had a really nice place. I mean, it was older. I didn't necessarily like the layout of it. But really, it was a nice little world. It really was. Because really, your space is your world, guys. I don't think a lot of us realize that, you know. Like the things that you decide to do in your life, where you live, and your world consists of what you do. All right, so for instance, here's your little space. You have a house. And then you have your car, which takes you to other spaces. And then you have just for instance, you just go to Walmart shopping, and then for most of your stuff you go to Walmart, so that's one spot in your world, and then you go to the laundromat, or you go to the dry cleaners, or you whatever grocery stores or minute marts or coffee shops you go to. All those places are part of your world, okay? And then just like a green screen, just eliminate all the rest, and then that's your world. That's something to think about. I taught a class once in Relief Society, and I used the blackboard because, you know, God says, worlds without number have I created. I believe you'll find that in the Pearl of Great Price, probably in the Book of Moses. But I'm not sure. I mean, there's only two. There's more in the book, okay? The Pearl of Great Price, but there is a Book of Moses and a Book of Abraham. And there's some mysteries of life contained therein. You won't find them in the other scriptures, is my point. And they were hidden, if I got it right, they were hidden in a, like a mummy casket, within the mummy casket. And they found their way into Joseph Smith's hands and was translated. He used an object called, okay, if you can listen long enough, there is an object that is called seer stones, okay? Seer stones, which is also the Urim and Thummim, which also, in different parts of the scriptures, you'll find little references, like Revelation 2:17. That'll probably stick in my head now, maybe. But it talks about a little white stone. Maybe not a little stone, but a white stone, okay? And by way of a vision, and I'm very serious about that, I had a vision, okay? Visions come in different ways, and I've experienced them in different ways. Time frame. My daughter was either in the first, second, or third grade. That's the grades that she was in at the time we lived in this house. And I had this vision when I lived in this house. So I'm really not sure. How old would she be in the second grade? We'll just say the second grade. First grade, you're 6, second grade, 7. Okay, she was 7 years old. So that was 40 years ago, okay? Because I think she's 47 right now. So I figured out this time frame, and then the vision. See, I was lucky to get back to that. Oh my. I had been really endeavoring, studying the scriptures, and praying for an answer to a prayer. For an answer. I was praying for understanding. How could God create a world? And how could he do everything that he's supposed to have done? And how can we become to where we can do that too? Overwhelming. Anyway, this studying and stuff was over a period of time. And I'd been trying to figure that out. I mean, that was bothering me a lot, I guess. And I had a vision by way of a dream that shot me straight out of bed from a deep sleep. I mean, I was deep in sleep, the kind you find people on drugs, that, like my dad's drugs, okay? Putting him out. So anyway, the point was I was in a deep sleep and I shot straight out of bed. I had graduated. And when I say graduated, you know, the school of life, you hear that. Well, our school is not just of this world's, this time frame's life. But when I say graduation, I mean at the end. Because we had our pre-existence, we got this existence, we're going to have another existence in the millennium, and then we will figure out where we're going, or it will be figured out where we're going. And what is my point? Graduation. When you leave the millennium, that is graduation. Anyway, I had graduated. In my dream, I was given my stone. I was given my stone because I was fixing to go into the celestial kingdom. Or maybe I had already entered the celestial kingdom and was given my stone. I'm not sure how that will work. Well, that stone is the Urim and Thummim. That stone is your, I'm going to say it, you guys don't even understand it, but it's your crystal ball. But anyway, it says in the scriptures that God lived on a sea of glass. And he knew everything. Everything came up through the sea of glass that pertained to all of his worlds that he'd ever created, okay? Because this is his world that he's living on, and he's looking through like a crystal ball into his other worlds, okay? That's an interesting tidbit. The Urim and Thummim, the seer stone. That's what we're given when we graduate and go into the celestial kingdom. Not when you go into the other kingdoms, but the celestial kingdom, okay? And with that stone, I knew everything. The minute it touched my skin, I knew everything. Everything there is to know. All this knowledge was just blowing through my head. It was so much I couldn't contain it. And that's what made me shoot straight up out of bed. The minute that touched me, I knew everything. Okay, so what did that teach me? We don't have to know everything. We do not have to be armed with everything in order to become like God. In order to receive our Urim and Thummim, our gift, the world that we can create. But with that stone, we know everything. And that stone is also what God lives on, a sea of glass. So I'll have to find some scriptures and back all that up, I guess. But it is something we should look into. I should do a thing on the Urim and Thummim and see the book called, oh my back. Okay. Mormon Doctrine. Okay, you see those things, they're just like bookmarks. But I can look in this book under a lot of topics and find places to go look. So let me see. I showed a picture of this in my community. Picture of the page about the Urim and Thummim. So if you get on, I don't know what it's like to get on someone else's device and get on my channel. I don't know how that works. But on mine, I go to my community And then it's like I can make post. So I made a post of the Urim and Thummim. This is what I'm trying to get rid of. And this is what happens when you have what? My widow's peak, for one thing. Okay, so what am I looking up? I want to look up Urim. Okay, so U. So it's in the back. There it is, right there. Urim and Thummim. I had a bookmark there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to read something out of here for you. Okay, and what this is a reference book, and it'll give you places to go and look in the scriptures for references here. Let's see. From time to time, as his purposes require, the Lord personally or through the ministry of appointed angels delivers to chosen prophets a Urim and Thummim to be used in receiving revelations and in translating ancient records from unknown tongues. With the approval of the Lord, these prophets are permitted to pass these instruments on to their mortal successors. A Urim and Thummim consist of two special stones called seer stones or interpreters. The Hebrew words Urim and Thummim, both plural, mean lights and perfections. Presumably, one of the stones is called Urim and the other Thummim. Ordinarily, they are carried in a breastplate over the heart. That's in Exodus. All right, we should look that up. Exodus 28, verse 30. And I think that's Leviticus. It's Lev 8:8. Chapter 8, verse 8. Huh. I mean, that makes me want to stop and go do that. But I'm going to continue to read, and you guys can't even see me here. Move that over here. Okay, where was I? Because of the sacred nature of these holy instruments, they have not been viewed by most men, and even in times and circumstances under which they have been held by mortals, are not clearly set forth. Undoubtedly, they were in use before the flood. Okay. But the first scriptural reference to them is in connection with the revelations given the brother of Jared. That's in Ether. That's in the Book of Mormon. Ether, chapter 3, verse 21 through 28. Abraham had them in his day. And that's in Abraham 3, verse 1 through 4. And so I bet you that is in the Pearl of Great Price. Unless Abraham's in the Bible, but I wasn't thinking he was. Anyway, so it says Abra, which is short for Abraham. So Abraham, chapter 3, verse 1 through 4. And Aaron and the priest in Israel had them from generation to generation. That's in Exodus and Leviticus. That's those same two ones I just said. Exodus 28, verse 30, and Leviticus 8, chapter 8, verse 8. And then Numbers, chapter 27, verse 21. Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 8. And then 1 Samuel. I'm not sure where that is. That might be in the Bible. It's First Sam, S-A-M, okay? And that says chapter 28, verse 6. And then Ezra, chapter 3, verse 63, and then, I don't know what that is, NEH. There is no record that Lehi brought a Urim and Thummim to the continent, but King Mosiah had one prior to the discovery of the Book of Ether, and it was handed down from prophet to prophet. Omni, chapter 20, verse 21, Mosiah 8, verse 13 through 19, and Mosiah 21, verse 26 through 28, and Mosiah 28, verse 11 through 20, Alma 63, verse 12, Ether chapter 4, verse 1 through 7. Joseph Smith received the same Urim and Thummim had by the brother of Jared, for it was the one expressly provided for the translation of the Jaredite and Nephite records. And that's in Doctrine and Covenants, chapter 10, or section 10, because there's sections. Okay, so Doctrine and Covenants, section 10, verse 1, section 17, verse 1, and then Ether 3, 22 through 28. It was separate and distinct from the one had by Abraham and the one had by the priest in Israel. The prophet also had a seer stone, which was separate and distinct from the Urim and Thummim, and which, speaking loosely, has been called by some a Urim and Thummim. Doctrines of Salvation, Volume 3. Now, see, I haven't read those at all. I'd like to. President Joseph Fielding Smith, with reference to the seer stone and the Urim and Thummim, has written, "We have been taught since the days of the prophet that the Urim and Thummim were returned with the plates to the angel. We have no record of the prophet having the Urim and Thummim after the organization of the church. Statements of translations by the Urim and Thummim after that date are evidently errors. The statement has been made that the Urim and Thummim was on the altar in the Manti temple when that building was dedicated. The Urim and Thummim so spoken of, however, was the seer stone, which was in possession of the prophet Joseph Smith in early days. The seer stone, excuse me, the seer stone is now in the possession of the church. Doctrines of Salvation, Volume 3, page 225. When Moroni first revealed to the prophet the existence of the gold plates, he also said that there were 2 stones in silver bows, and these stones fastened to a breastplate constituted what is called the Urim and Thummim, deposited with the plates. And the possession and use of these stones were what constituted seers in ancient or former times, and that God had prepared them for the purpose of translating the book. And that's in Joseph Smith 2:35 through 59. So I'm not sure where that is, if that's the other part of the Pearl of Great Price, because like I said, there's another book in there, but I thought it was just a Joseph Smith story. So I don't know what they're talking about there. Ammon said of these same stones, the things are called interpreters, and no man can look in them except he be commanded lest he should look for that he ought not, and should perish. Wow. And whosoever is commanded to look in them, the same is called seer. And that's in Mosiah 8, verse 13. And Mosiah 28, verse 13 through 16. Those are in the Book of Mormon also, okay? The existence and use of the Urim and Thummim as an instrument of revelation will continue among exalted beings in eternity. From the inspired writings of the prophet, we learn that angels reside in the presence of God on a globe like a sea of glass. A globe like a sea of glass. And fire. Okay, so on a globe like a sea of glass and fire, where all things for their glory are manifest, past, present, and future, and are continually before the Lord. The place where God resides is a great Urim and Thummim. This earth, in its sanctified and immortal state, will be made like unto crystal, and will be a Urim and Thummim to the inhabitants who dwell thereon, whereby all things pertaining to an inferior kingdom, or all kingdoms of a lower order, will be manifest to those who dwell on it. And this earth will be Christ. In other words, that's Christ with an apostrophe S, possessive. Since you can't see it, I'm explaining. And this earth will be Christ, possessive, okay? He will possess this earth, meaning it's his. Then the white stone mentioned in Revelation 2:17, look that up, and it's really just a little teeny mention, but I noticed it, but I'd had my vision, okay, and I had that vision years ago. My daughter was young, 40 years ago, and it's still in my mind, fresh. So it says, then the white stone mentioned in Revelation 2:17 will become a Urim and Thummim to each individual who receives one, whereby things pertaining to a higher order of kingdoms will be made known. And it's going to give you a place to go look. Doctrine and Covenants, section 130, verse 6 through 11. That would be good to look up. Okay, so that is the end of that, but I'm wondering if I started in the beginning. I did. Okay, so I read you everything there. But you can see, it's not just a Mormon doctrine, guys. It's in the Bible. And how could a young man with no really formal training, how could he write a book even? If you were to read the Book of Mormon, how in the world could he do that? He could not. But the only way that book came to light was through those seer stones. Okay? Seer stones. And that just told you what I told you. God lives on a globe like a sea of glass. And it said that this earth is going to be sanctified and be like this earth in its sanctified and immortal state will be made like unto crystal. Crystal ball, sea of glass, things manifest to it. ringing any bells for some of you people out there? This earth right now is in its telestial state, probably. Maybe even lesser than that, because probably the Garden of Eden is probably the telestial state. But I find that interesting. I find that very interesting. And I was probably reading some of that stuff, and then I had my vision on top of it. So I experienced knowing everything. Knowing that. We just got to make it. We just got to make it there. And we'll receive our own white stone, which will become our world. Okay? I can't tell you everything. I know I don't say my words right, and what I'm trying to say is when I want to tell you a story, I can't tell you all the different levels of everything, and I can't go back and back it all up right away. But, so like when the millennium happens, the earth is going to go through a change, just like we are going to go through a change. I guess I can take these things off. You know, when we're resurrected, we're going to be resurrected before we go into the millennium. We'll have our body back, okay? And it will be semi-immortal. So, I don't know what all kinds of things that really means, except for there will be no more pain, no more sorrow, no more sin, no more temptation to get you in trouble. You'll know what, this is my own opinion. I believe that we will know who we are. And what I mean is, like, from the pre-existence to this existence to the millennium, we're going into the millennium with a resurrected body. One that is semi-immortal. Not immortal yet, not like God. I'm going to get off of that because it makes my head look weird. Okay, but, you know, God's immortal. Spirit and body put together and in perfect form. I hate my hair right now. Anyway. I had a point I was going to make, but I got distracted. And I've got this oil on my face, which is really good. I need that. Now, I just went on a trail that led me to a place where I gave you guys a lot of information. Interesting information. It's something that the normal person's not going to find. Someone will have to poke it out to you. Okay? Let me see. If you guys don't mind sticking along, let's see. I might still have to put my glasses back on. But what I'll do is go to the scriptures, and then I'll get on Revelations. It's not, I remember, it's not going to tell you a whole lot. But I'm going to read that. Revelation 2:17. Okay, I need to leave you over there. Let's see if I can read it. This is Revelation 2, verse 17. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth saving he that receiveth it. That's all it says. I want to look up some of those scriptures now. But I already shut the book. But I guess I can reopen the book. Let's reopen the book. Go back. UBW. There it is. Alright, so let's see. Exodus 28:30 and Leviticus 8:8. Let's see what those say. So I have to go to the Old Testament. Old Testament. Exodus. Verse 30. Chapter 28, verse 30, guys. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me good. I'll bring this around here better. Let's see. Okay, this is Exodus chapter 28, verse 30. And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before the Lord. And Aaron shall bear the king, let's see, and Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continually. Huh. I think we need to read a little more. That's just weird. That's just talking about how they made the breastplate there, I think. So I'm not going to mess with that. The point was, they referenced out that verse. And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment, the Urim and Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before the Lord. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continually. Yeah, the word continually, that's an important word. Okay, that's enough of that. So let's see, what was the other one? I'll do the other one and then probably stop. Leviticus 8:8. Let's try that. Huh. Okay, this is Leviticus 8, verse 8. And he put, let's see, no, that's 9. Well, still. And he put the breastplate upon him. Also he put in the breastplate the Urim and Thummim. Interesting stuff, but only a little tidbit, you know, it's just a little tidbit, and then it's not, it's like an assumed thing, I believe. They don't talk about it, you know. What they are talking about down here, I'll read a little bit of it, okay? I just read you 8, but I'm going to read it again. And he put the breastplate upon him. Also he put in the breastplate the Urim and Thummim. And he put the mitre upon his head, and upon the mitre, even upon his forehead, did he put the golden plate, the holy crown, as the Lord commanded Moses. And Moses took the anointing oil, and anointed the tabernacle, and all that was therein, and sanctified them. And he sprinkled thereof upon the altar 7 times, and anointed the altar and all his vessels, both the laver and his foot, to sanctify them. And he poured of the anointing oil upon Aaron's head, and anointed him to sanctify him. And Moses brought Aaron's sons, and put coats upon them, and girded them with girdles, and put bonnets upon them, and the Lord commanded Moses. And he brought the bullock of the sin offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the bullock for the sin offering. That's weird. And he slew it. You know, those people back in the Old Testament are weird. With all their sacrifices. Because they're anointing this sacrifice is what it sounds like. And the bullock and his hide, his flesh and his dung, he burned with fire without the camp. And the Lord commanded Moses, and he brought the ram for the burnt offering. And Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the ram. Ugh, I don't want to read that crap. I don't like the Old Testament. Okay? I really don't. Weird stuff they did back then. When Jesus came, he did away with all that. Okay? It's probably why I get into the New Testament. I like the New Testament. I don't like things of old days. Rotten people. I'm going to look in the Pearl of Great Price and see. Okay, here are the books of the Pearl of Great Price. Moses, Abraham, Joseph Smith, and then it's got /Matthew, and then it's got Joseph Smith /history, and then the Articles of Faith, which is what we believe. I'll have to go over those on a different video. But those are important. What do we believe as members of the church? I don't know, maybe I should look and see. It's not very long. However, I've been talking a long time already. It's pretty good. Pretty good, and Joseph Smith did do it. Yeah, I'll do it all its own. So, it's early in the morning. I've been up since 1:30. I tried to go back to sleep, it didn't work. I went out and found Dad awake later on, you know. I didn't go out right away. I decided to go out and get me some ice and stuff. Yeah. Actually, I went potty. Then I found Dad was awake, so I went ahead and got me some ice and stuff. I didn't want to wake him up. I guess I've talked plenty long. Plenty long. Things in life to figure out. And I can't even remember what I got on here in the beginning, what I said in the beginning. It is good not to have to hold the phone. So, as long as you guys can hear me all right, that's good. then I can demonstrate a little better. I need to do that with my sewing, but I don't know how to do that. So I did start making my cozies. I don't know that I will continue making cozies, but I will make the ones that I have got cut out. And then I bought other material that I would probably make cozies out of. I'm not sure what I would do otherwise. Might make pillows out of them, actually. These pillows that I got a pillow from the hospital. It's really kind of perfect. It's not very big. Okay. I think I got my measurements wrong. And I need to know what's in there. It's just so nice and soft, the stuffing. It is. It's very nice. Nice cushion for my owie, my chest. Anybody who's had surgery on their chest, they need something. But it's nice to lay down and just stick it under my head. And it might be easy enough to take on a plane. You know, you don't have to have just one circle around your neck, maybe. Maybe you could just lay down like that. Because I have laid my head on the table in front of me before. It'd be nice to lay on a little pillow. So I don't know. I do know there's a lot of surgeries going on everywhere. So I don't know if someone donates these things to the hospital to give to people or not. Anyway. I don't want to get off of here. I don't think I will get off of here yet. But I am over an hour. So I guess I probably should stop. You know, visions, it is a deal. And I wrote a paper about that a little bit, you know. It is true. A vision is sight. But do we understand what we see? But I sought after understanding. I mean, I was really trying and praying to understand. And I had that dream, okay? Visions can come in your dreams, and they can come in your just walking. I was walking down the driveway and saw a vision in front of me of me taking off my jacket and just shaking myself and letting go of everything behind me so that I could get into a new life. That was weird. However, I was not happy. I was just waiting to die, I think. There used to be a show that me and Joe watched called Waiting to Die. I'm not sure what it was called. It seems like it was. And it was on British TV. Okay, but we enjoyed it. It was good. It was about some people who went to a nursing home or an assisted living place or something, just waiting to die. but it was comical. Ouch. I'm waiting for my pain to go away. I'm sitting on a weird bed, so I'm putting pressure where it don't belong. Oh, Brother Ben. I just got a message from somebody. Of course, it made me smile. What can I say? Certain things just do that to you, you know? Or maybe you don't. But there are times when I get the most sweet smile on my face. Stimulation, motivation, activation. What are some motivations? Did I say stimulation? I did. Yeah. And activation, activate spots, you know. Anyway. It has been nice talking to you guys. It is nice to know that some things can make us smile. We do need to remember our blessings. when things get bad, try to look around and you need to count your blessings instead of the things you don't have, and realize that someone else always has it worse than you do. Not that it makes your life any easier. I'd be trying to figure out some things myself, okay? And here I am, 69. You'd think I'd have it all figured out by now. No. More lessons to learn, guys. You'll be learning till you die. So happy trails, guys. I'll be coming back to you again. Just remember, check over what I just gave you. We do have a purpose in life, and we have a place we're headed. And greatness can be achieved. Just need to find out that it's actually out there to achieve, right? And it may not come until after this life. And actually what I'm trying to say is, after this life, it's not going to come here. There'll be a culmination. Is that what they call it? A culmination? Meaning a blending of